nation. Hebrew kingdom building.
All right, we ready? Anybody left? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the word, Miss Parker. We're gonna be talking about this Torah portion, which was Shemot chapter 6, verses 2 through 9, I think through the end, 9 verse 30 something. Yeah. Shemot chapter 6.
Verse 2. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and said to him, I am Yahuwah. I appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as Elohim Almighty, but my name is Yahuwah. I was not known to them. I have also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land of their pilgrimage, in which they were strangers. And I have also heard the groanings of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians kept in bondage. And I have remembered my covenant.
Come.
Therefore, say to the children of Israel, I am Yahuwah. I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. I will rescue you from their bondage, and I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great judgments. I will take you as my people, and I will be your Elohim. Then you shall know that I am Yahuwah, your Elohim, who brings you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
Maybe try to turn his mic down a little bit, see if that might help with the feedback. Let's see if that helps.
You want to keep going, verse 8?
Yep.
And I will bring you into the land which I swore to give to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I will give it to you as a heritage. I am Yahuwah.
So when we look at when we're reading Shemot, when we look at and we're reading about the children of Israel, we looking at them as being Israelites, right? Y'all know they probably wasn't looking at themselves as that. They probably looked at themselves as Egyptians, y'all. They probably looked at themselves as just Egyptian slaves. Y'all see how crazy that is to identify yourself with the place of your captivity? When the Most High looked at them, he looked at them as the children of Israel. But see, the taskmasters and the slave masters probably was doing things to make sure they didn't have their identity. Remember, this is the book of names, Shemot. It's all about names. When you're talking about names, biblically, it's more than just, oh, my name is John. When you're talking about name, it's about your identity, your culture, your heritage is associated with your name. That's why a lot of our names, we have Yahuwah in our name. A lot of our names, we have Alua in our name and things like that. You can tell a person is Hispanic if you don't even have to see him. He says you get an email and his name says Pedro Gonzalez, right? You know he probably Hispanic. If you get an email and I don't know, his name is Jamoy Chan, that a good one? Jaikon Chan? I don't know. Chin Woo, yeah. You know that he probably from like somewhere in Asia, like China or something. So the name is more than just the name. It's about your identity, your heritage, your culture. That's why it was prophesied that we will call ourselves by the name of Yahuwah. We will call ourselves after Israel and things like that. It's about a returning to who we are. It's about knowing who you are. And a big part of renouncing and denouncing this place, a big part of it is about understanding who you are. You are not of this place. Children of light, Malachim. We're not of this place. We're not of the nations. We're not of this world. We are not of the nations. We are the sitting ones of the Most High. And it's time to really walk in that on another level than ever before. You see what I'm saying? And so at this point in time, man, they thought they were Egyptians. And like Bakir Yamin alluded to earlier, even all the way into the wilderness, many years into the wilderness, some of them were still holding on to stuff from Mitzrayim. They still was feeling like they was Mitzrites in their heart. That is not who we are. Let's keep going.
Okay, verse 9. So Moshe spoke to thus. Let me start that over. So Moshe spoke thus to the children of Israel, but they did not heed Moshe because of anguish of spirit and cruel bondage. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe saying,
so these are things that can keep you from being able to receive a word. Y'all see this? It says they did not heed Moshe. Moshe was literally giving them the words from Yahuwah. Yahuwah said, I'm going to deliver you from this place. I'm going to take y'all up out of here. I'm going to make y'all mine. Y'all belong to me. I'm going to redeem you from this place and seal y'all to me. And the scriptures say they couldn't receive it, y'all. They couldn't receive it because of anguish of spirit and cruel bondage. Another way to look at this is they couldn't receive it because they were too focused on their current situation or current circumstance. Could you imagine not being able to receive from Yahuwah himself, the creator of the universe, because you're too overly focused on whatever your current circumstance is? I know a lot of y'all like, I can't believe it, but a lot of y'all done it.
Come on now.
A lot of y'all done it. Let's keep going.
verse 10 again. And Yahushua spoke to Moshe, saying,
And Yahuwah.
I'm sorry. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, Go in, tell Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to let the children of Israel go out of his land. And Moshe spoke before Yahuwah, saying, The children of Israel have not heeded me. How then shall Pharaoh heed me? For I am of uncircumcised lips. Then Yahuwah spoke to Moshe and Aaron and gave them a command for the children of Israel and for Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Verse 14. These are the heads of their fathers' houses. The sons of Reuben.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Now it's going into names, ain't it?
All right.
I remember we talked about that some years ago. That's very significant because the chapter before that, it wasn't going into names. Go to chapter 5. Start with verse 1 real quick. My bad. Go to chapter 2. Start with verse 1.
And a man of the house of Levi went and took as wife a daughter of Levi. So the woman conceived and bore a son. And when she saw that he was a beautiful child, she hid him 3 months.
So y'all see that it's not showing any specific names here in chapter 2. It's just saying a man, and we know who that is, but the Torah specifically not mentioning the name. So and a man of the house of Levi went and took as a wife a daughter of Levi. The woman conceived and bore a son. It's not saying any names, and this is alluding that it's because they didn't have they didn't have their identity at this time. They didn't have their names. This was right after chapter 1, which was when all the bondage happened. You get what I'm saying? Verse 3, then it says, but when she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes. It's just saying she and he. You notice it's not saying any specific names. And so then you go to chapter 6. Because that whole time between chapter 2 and chapter 6, it was just the children of Israel. The only people's names primarily that was mentioned was Moshe and Aharon. And it could have been because they woke up. It's like the Most High woke them up. It wasn't until chapter 6, verse 14, after the cruel and harsh bondage came and Moshe came and talked to them, they didn't receive it. And then verse 14, now their names is coming out. You see what I'm saying? Verse 14, let's go.
These are the heads of their fathers' houses, the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, were Hanok, Palu, Hezron, and Carmi. These are the families of Reuben.
These are the who?
Families of Reuben.
This is families, y'all, being mentioned by name. By name. Keep going.
Verse 15. And the sons of Simeon were Jemuel, Jamin, Ohad, Jason, Zohar, Shual, the son of
Skip to verse 20.
Woman. Now, Amram.
Y'all see this? Now it's saying his name. That's actually the same person mentioned in chapter 2, but it just said he in chapter 2. Keep going.
Now, Amram took for himself Jochebed, his father's sister.
Amram married Jochebed. That's his father's. He married his auntie.
As wife.
Yeah, Jochebed was probably a lot older than Amram. Yeah.
His father's sister as wife, and she bore him Aaron and Moshe.
She brought forth Kodesh seed. You see what I'm saying? Now it's time. When you start seeing the names coming out, when you start seeing the heritage and the name and the culture and all the identity coming out, then you see that it's time for Kodesh seed. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, they brought forth Aharon and Moshe. They brought forth, man. And you gotta think about it. Amram, like he had to be very intentional because he went and took Jochebed, which was someone who was probably a lot older than him, to cover as a ish. That was probably very intentional. Who knows? The Most High might have visited them. Most High showed them. Who knows? But that was probably very intentional. And it was to bring out forth Kodesh seed. I'm telling y'all, that's the concept. She literally through that union literally brought forth deliverers, y'all. Literally brought forth the high priest, the first high priest of Yasharel. Well, most people would have been, man, nah, that's too. That's just not what I was looking for to do. That's just not my type. Because she was probably way older. Because y'all got to understand, Jochebed was a daughter of Levi, a direct daughter of Levi. Y'all know Levi was a son of Yaakov. What was Levi, the third born? Third born of Yaakov, and that was his direct daughter. We way during the days of and she brought forth Moshe. I mean, she brought forth Moshe. So through his mother, that made Moshe literally a grandson of Levi. Through his mother, great-grandson through his father. Y'all get it? So if y'all look deep into it, a lot of people believe that she was actually very old when she had Moshe and Aharon, to where it was even probably like one of those supernatural type of births, kind of like how it was with Sarah and what's her name, yeah, because they was in y'all gotta understand, they were in Mizraim for like 200 years roughly. See what I'm saying? They was in Mizraim for a long time. And so for her to be around to be able to birth forth Moshe, and then it was like, I think it was when Moshe was 80 when it was time to deliver Yasharel roughly.
Yeah, no, he was 80 when he went up there.
When he went up there?
Yeah, he was 83.
So that, I mean, she had to have been old, man. Yeah, she had to have been old for real. So, but people moving in obedience, y'all, then they brought forth deliverers, y'all. They brought forth deliverers. You saw that with Ruth. In the book of Ruth, she went and she went and married Boaz. Boaz was an elder.
He even said there's younger men than me.
Yeah, he was like, man, you righteous because you could be giving one of these younger dudes, but you coming, and trying to get with me, because she was trying to move by Torah because he was the closest akin to her Ish who passed away. You see what I'm saying? And that brought forth Kodesh seed. That literally brought forth the lineage of King David, all them people. Deliverers. You saw that with Judah. We saw that in Bereshit 38. Tamar. Think about Judah and Tamar, y'all. Judah was trying to give Tamar to one of his sons. That's how much older Judah was than Tamar. The plan was to give Tamar to his sons. He gave Tamar to the firstborn. They was wicked. She was one of Yahuwah's daughters. So the Most High took him out. Tamar, and then so he's like, okay, all right, I got to move by Torah. So you're supposed to get with my second born. He did something crazy. The Most High took him out. Then Judah was like, so then look at it. Y'all got to think about the mindset when it comes to bringing forth Kodesh seed. So then, y'all know what Judah was going to do? He was going to marry her to his younger son, who was probably way younger than her. Still, y'all got to think about this mindset, because most people, oh, no, look at the age difference. I'm just saying. That's not what I was thinking of. She was probably too young. I mean, he was, but Judah was like, no, just wait. When he gets of age, then I'm going to marry you to him. And his son wouldn't have had no choice. She could have been way older than him, like a Jochebed and Amram. That could have been the Ab. That could have been Levi. Was like, yeah, Amram. I need you to give my daughter. I need you to, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, Amram like, submitted. Okay. Brought forth Moshe and Aharon. That stuff wild, man. Yeah. And so Tamar wasn't like him. He could have been like 10 years old at the time. We don't even know. He could have been real young. He probably wasn't that young. Cause I'm trying to think, because Joseph, this was after Joseph went in the pit, and Joseph was 17. So Joseph was in captivity for 13 years before they met back up with the brethren. So he probably wasn't that young. He might have been maybe 16, 15, 14, 13, something like that. I don't know. It could have been 10. It could have been 10, because Joseph was in captivity for 13 years. Yeah. And they probably, maritable age probably would have been more like, between, ancient times, I'm just throw it out there like 18 to 20. Could have been younger, but we're just going from a Babylonian perspective. We're just gonna say, for nowadays ain't nobody that young gonna be able to do it. Back then, man, they had kings at 8, 9, 10 years. It's just different times with that. But the point is, she was grown though. She might have been 25, 30. He might have been 10, 12, 13, y'all. And Judah was like, hey, I need you to wait. And then when my youngest get old enough to marry, then I'm gonna marry you with her. You know what she did? She waited.
Right.
She waited. He said, go back to your father's house. She wasn't like, man, I'm really trying to be with somebody, man. They got these other dudes be looking at me, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't trying to wait. There's no record of her feeling sorry for herself because she don't have a man, none of that. And she waited for years, y'all. For years. And what happened was in the process of time came and he old enough to get married now. And she probably was sitting there looking, she probably wondering, and she can tell Judah don't have no plans of doing none of that. Because y'all know in Judah's mind, man, my youngest son, he kind of wicked, man. He going to end up getting killed. He not really righteous enough to deal with nobody like that. Man, I'm not finna play around with that. Nope. And when y'all think about it, he had in my mind, I'm like, after having sons, I'm like, man, he kind of had a point. Not saying he was right by doing that, but I can see his perspective. Yeah, because that was from the Canaanite woman. Oh, he probably still had some Babylonian in him and all messed around and got himself cut off too. And so she went in and tricked Judah into basically going in covenant with her. And Judah was probably way older than her. And you know what happened? Because of that brought forth Kodesh seed, y'all, the lineage of the kings, the lineage of Yehuda, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? Yahushua HaMashiach. And so this is what I'm not saying. I'm not saying we're supposed to, be crazy on the age and, things like that. But what I am saying is don't be having this specific way that you want things to where you don't see if Yahuwah is trying to get you onto something different than that. If Yahuwah's will is for you to be on something different than that. That's what made people like Tamar mentioned in Torah, why they were called, because Judah said the same thing with Tamar. Man, you so righteous. You more righteous than me. Because the goal was for Kodesh seed, and that brought out the Kodesh seed. If she would have, think about it. Y'all think about this. Y'all think about this, y'all. If Tamar, she could have got with any other dude or whatever. If she would have got with any other dude, y'all know she probably would have never been mentioned in the scriptures, would have been forgotten forever. Her lineage wouldn't have been about, not mentioned for nobody to know nothing. If Ruth would have decided to get with one of the younger dudes like Boaz said she could have done, she would have never been mentioned in scriptures. Nothing about her lineage, Kodesh seed, nothing. It would have been just another blip in history that probably no one would have ever known about. She just would have been a regular person. But now she's mentioned in the scriptures as one of the most righteous people in the scriptures. Ruth? Y'all see the difference between how this could make all the difference in the world as far as who you marry, as far as who you join with. It gotta be Yahuwah over your flesh. Yes, sir.
So what I see there is how neither one of them picked. So you had Tamar, who didn't pick who she was gonna be with. It wasn't like, hey, this is what I desire. Then you had Ruth, who listened to Oprah, Naomi, Oprah. Nah, that ain't her name. That was her sister. Oprah.
Something like that. I don't know.
All right, yeah, Oprah, whatever. Tomato. But my point is that they both listened to the order. They both they had like a level of honor to where if Naomi says, hey, look, you going to not only go to him, but this is how you going to go to him. And she wasn't tripping on none of that. And he definitely was older. He definitely was old. He probably, it talks about how he fell asleep and she came in there. It was probably like 6 o'clock when he fell asleep. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty early. But then he woke up, had to go to the bathroom. I mean, you don't say that, y'all. I'm just joking. But woke up and there she was. So it's just the listening to the elders and not getting out of the mindset to where you're going to choose the spouse. Of course, there's an element there with some of the ceremonies, but it's still getting out of the mindset that I'm 20, 24, 25, 30, whatever it is. I know enough to choose my spouse because it's the blessings come down from the coverings. There was a word you brought out that talked about that. Yeah. But the blessings come from the covenant, the covering. So if you want the blessings, you got to remain under that covering in all things.
All praise to the Most High. So, keeping that all that in mind, so now we got Kodesh seed coming forth, right? It's going through all these names, all these lineages, all these families that are being brought forth. And we go to chapter 20, verse 20, read verse 20 again.
Now, Amram took for himself Jochebed, his father's sister, as wife, and she bore him Aharon and Moshe. The years of the life of Amram were 137. Keep going.
Yep.
The sons of Ishar were Korah, Nepheg, and Zikra. And the sons of Uzziel were Mishael, Elzaphan, and Zithra. Aaron took to himself Elisheba, daughter of Aminadab, sister of Nahshon, as wife, and she bore him Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar.
So this is huge. So look at this. Like this is like the Kodesh seed that brought forth the nation, y'all. So Aharon took Elisheba, who is daughter of Aminadab, who is sister of Nahshon. Nahshon was the leader of the tribe of Judah, y'all, in the wilderness, in the book of Numbers. Y'all remember we talked about that maybe a couple years ago or so? Nahshon is the leader of the tribe of Judah in the wilderness in the book of Bamidbar. You'll see that Nahshon was the one who was the head of the tribe of Judah. So Aharon, if he did, it matters who the man marries too, because I don't know what if Aharon didn't move in obedience and didn't marry the sister of the leader of the tribe of Judah? Would Aharon have been chosen to be the lineage of the priests? Because remember, the lineage of the priests, it really wasn't about. It was about Aharon too, but it was really about the sons of Aharon. And the sons was the sons of Aharon was this, what's the word I'm looking for? This lineage or this connection between Judah and Levi, kings and priests. That's who the high priest is. Remember Yahusha, the high priest in the Shamayim, in the order of Melchizedek, Melchi, my king, or king of righteousness. King of righteousness. And remember, Melchizedek was a priest. Even though his name means king of righteousness, he was a priest. It says priest of the Most High when you read it in Bereshit. He was a king and a priest, y'all. He was a king and a priest. So the sons of Aharon had this blend. That's why all the Levites couldn't be the high priest. Only Aharon and his sons. Let's keep going.
Okay, verse 24. So if I stop there. And the sons of Korah were Aser, Elkanah, Abiezap. These are the families of the Korahites.
And Korah, he was, y'all know what Korah did, but his children were through. That's what I'm saying, y'all. This Kodesh seed is something else. Even Korah in his rebellion, his children were at least didn't fall into them. They were through. Keep going.
Verse 25. Eleazar, Aaron's son, took for himself one of the daughters of Putiel as wife, and she bore him
Who?
Phinehas.
Y'all know who Phinehas is, right? Pinchas. Y'all see this? This is the lineage of the Kodesh seed being brought out, y'all. Like, this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Like, this is it. So, keep going.
These are the heads of the fathers' houses of the Levites according to their families. These are the same Aaron and Moshe, to whom Yahuwah said, bring out the children of Israel from the land of Egypt according to their armies.
According to their armies. Now they're being called armies. Oh, snap. That's how you know this awakening didn't happen in Mitzrayim. Now they soldiers. They not slaves no more. Keep going.
These are the ones who spoke to Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to bring out the children of Israel from Egypt. These are the same Moshe and Aaron. Verse 28. And it came to pass on the day.
All right, let's go to chapter 7. And let's read verse 1.
So Yahuwah said to Moshe, see, I have made you as a lure to Pharaoh.
So then Yahuwah told Moshe, see, I have made you a lure, because y'all see as is is not even there. He's really saying, that's the Englishmen who they probably didn't understand that in translation. What? They like, yeah, what? No, they just trying. He's just maybe the Most High saying that they're making like a lure. No. Yahuwah said to Moshe, see, I've made you a lure to Pharaoh. And Aharon, your brother, shall be your prophet. That's probably not being. So when Pharaoh, so you got to understand when Moshe is going before Pharaoh, y'all look, this is dominion. Moshe is going before Pharaoh as a lure to Pharaoh. Moshe was in a lure. He was in a lure. This proves that he was in a lure. He was a malak. He was a celestial being sent there to do that work. That's why what we talked about last week, his whole life was to do this. His whole life was to prepare him to do this. You see what I'm saying? To deliver Yasharel, because he was a lure. He was the son of light. He always been around, but he was sent there to do this work. So go to Bereshit 9. We're going to talk about the concept of the rainbow. So we've been talking about this for a while, for a few weeks now. And then y'all saw Malek on a prayer call last Yom Rishon. He brought it out. We didn't talk to each other about it at all. He just brought it out. It just came up whenever he was reading the Sirach, and then just something had him just stay on him. And I was like, man, we was just getting into that, like, man. And so it's the Ruach though. So he was talking about how we need to get back and reclaim the bow. We need to reclaim the bow. You know what I'm saying? I actually reshared some of a little bit of some of what he brought out last night on the prep day call. But the gist of it is just, man, look, we need to get back to this. We need to reclaim the rainbow. Y'all, I told y'all about the first vision that I had on there. I believe it was December 30th, if I remember the date. But it was about being clothed in light. It was like I was covered in the rainbow color lights and stuff. It was light though, but it was like I was clothed in it. You know what I'm saying? And so basically what Malek was saying on the call was, man, we need to like wear the rainbow. That's what he was saying without saying it, because he was talking about how, I'm just now I got to get used to get back to wearing colors like that, because, I don't wear like, certain type of color. Then, he started. Then he started talking about, man, but look here, man, don't come with no pink on, man. It was just one color talking about you trying to claim the rainbow. He like, man, I'm going to look at you like, man, I hear you, but man, I don't know. But it was funny, but it's real, y'all. That's the Ruach, y'all. That's the Ruach. That's the Ruach because, okay, so the rainbow, the Hebrew word for the rainbow is kashet, okay? That's kuf shin tav. So just keep that in mind. That's the Hebrew word for rainbow. But that word kashet, it's a bow. Like for a bow and arrow, that's war, right? It's a bow. Bakir Luv, give me Psalm chapter 127, verse 4. Tehillim chapter 127, verse 4.
Like arrows in the hand of a warrior.
Like arrows in the hand of a warrior. Go ahead.
So are the children of one's youth.
So are who?
Are the children of one's youth.
So that's equating children to arrows, right? And the rainbow is actually a bow, right? The rainbow is about having dominion through the Kodesh seed. The rainbow is about the sons, the children of light. The rainbow is about us. It's about the children of light, Mishpachah. That's why, think about it. When did the Most High make the covenant of the rainbow with Noah? It was after the Most High destroyed everybody and he was ready to start all over with Noah and his children. If you read Bereshit 9, he made the covenant with Noah and his sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Because they were supposed to be the ones, the number one, had take dominion on the earth. We know that because what did Yahuwah tell them to do? Be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth.
That's right.
The bow is about the sons of light. It's about sons, children, which are sons and daughters, but sons of light, children of light. That's why Psalm 127 verse 4 says, like arrows in the hand of a warrior, so are the children of one's youth. Because it's like these sons of light will be shooting forth onto the arets to actually judge and subdue the earth. Listen, Ham, Shem, and Japheth and their children were designed to be brought forth to literally judge and subdue the earth. Those children were arrows. Those children were weapons of war. It's about dominion through childbirth, dominion through bringing forth seed, I guess is the best way to put it. It's about dominion through children. Go to Genesis 6. And start with verse 1 and read verse 2.
Now it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
Everybody there, Genesis 6? Okay, let's go. Nope, hold on.
Okay.
No worries. Through? All right, let's get it. We through.
Now it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth.
So this was when men began to multiply on the face of the earth. So remember, Adam and Eve, the commandments was for them to be fruitful and to. So what this is saying is that this is when men were about to have dominion on the earth. Dominion through childbirth, dominion through having to do children. That was the original commandment for mankind, Adam and Eve. So it seemed like it was about to happen. It seemed like they were being successful. It says, now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that what happened?
The sons of Elua saw the daughters of men, and that they were beautiful. They took wives for themselves of all whom they chose.
Oh, snap. So then you have these fallen ones who said, man, no, man, you know what I'm saying? Why they get to have all the dominion on the earth? I got an idea. Because they multiplying fast. We got to do something about it. Let's go in on they women and let's bring forth this seed that will counteract their seed so that our seed may have dominion over them. The fallen ones, y'all, I submit they wasn't just trying to marry these women because they thought they was pretty. They probably thought they was pretty too. That wasn't it was about dominion, y'all. It was about dominion. That was the name of the game. That was the goal. How come Solomon had 7,000 wives? Did I say that right? Wasn't it 7,000? 3,000? It was a crazy number. Thousands. I don't know how he did that, but he did it. That's dominion, though. I know he messed up. I know the story. I know. I'm just saying, generally speaking, though. 700. Oh, way off. I said 7,000. 300 concubines. But that's dominion, though. That's dominion. Through childbirth. So you had these fallen ones, you had these fallen Elua that came down. They rebelled against their order, and because they wanted the dominion. So they brought, and the goal was to produce a certain type of seed on the earth. You see what I'm saying? That's what it was about, producing these certain type of children, dominion through children. Y'all listen, our set apart women are the key to dominion. Listen, man, our set apart women are the key to dominion. That's why our set apart women, major targets for the fallen ones, major targets. The set apart women are the key to dominion, not any women. They got to be like the set apart, like the daughters of the Most High. And that's why everything is going to try to come and keep that from happening, keep y'all from doing what y'all need to do to bring forth the Kodesh seed, try to get in the way, try to disrupt that, try to corrupt that. That's what the fallen ones did. They came in, okay, we're going to marry these women. Hurry, let's go to marry, because they being fruitful and multiplying and stuff like that. So let's go and let's get in the middle of that. Let's corrupt that. Because the Eretz was never designed to have wickedness on there. The Eretz was never designed for that. It was really designed to only be the righteous on the Eretz. So what happened, if you read, some of y'all been going through the prep they call on Enoch. Y'all know in Enoch, it talks more in detail about how these fallen ones caused major chaos and disorder on the earth. Once they had produced this seed, and after some generations, they ended up having the dominion, didn't they? Because the fallen ones had access to the revelation because they were in the Shamaim. They had information that they were leaking to their seed and to those they were in covenant with so that they can have this dominion. They were teaching them all kind of weaponry, all kind of ways to just keep dominion. Think about how the other nations had so much dominion over us for all these years. They the first ones who came up with the gun. Whoever has a hold of the gun during the ancient time, oh man, that's over. You got a whole army trying to come with knives and swords and arrows, and these dudes is pulling out guns. That's over. That's the dominion. Who has the key? Who has the information? Who has the revelation? That's Radah. And so they had access to the Shamaim at least for quite a while till they decided to leave. And they started leaking all that. When you read Enoch, it talks about it, they started leaking all this information to the people they were in covenant with, and it just caused them to have just great dominion. But they were killing the righteous left and right. They had great dominion. Okay. So what the fallen ones did, listen, so the fallen ones, they are of Sheol. They are of Sheol. The fallen ones, they decided to follow the serpent. They decided to follow basically Hasatan. Hasatan was probably the chief fallen one. He was the first, the head, you know what I'm saying? He was in the Shamaim. He was the first one, and he had a lot of people followed him. And so the concept is that the followers probably were following him, even in that instance. They caused great chaos and disorder on the Eretz. Chaos and disorder is Sheol, y'all. What's the Hebrew letter for chaos and disorder? For chaos? The Mem, right? Oh, there you go. Let's get a pictograph mem and a modern Hebrew mem. That's the mem. Y'all remember that? That's a super common letter. Oh, that's perfect. So this is the Hebrew letter for chaos and disorder. What's the numerical value of mem? Is that 40? Somebody get that to me. I think it's 40. I just want to make sure. 40? Oh, that's great. So, the Hebrew letter for mem is 40. That's trial. That's testing. That number 4 is also surrounds around captivity. Because remember, the children of Israel were in captivity. The concept was 400 years. You see what I'm saying? Because the captivity was really like a major trial, a major test to really bring us to repentance, to really return us back to the Most High. That's also the mem I submit. We talked about this. It means darkness, right? It means darkness. And I submit it also means Sheol. Chaos and disorder. Because remember, the mem also means the other nations, right? Right? And the other nations is Sheol. When you're amongst the other nations, you're in Sheol. Chaos and disorder. So Sheol was not supposed to be on the Eretz. But you had these fallen ones that came and brought Sheol on the Eretz. They came and joined in covenant with the other nations, and that's how the other nations had dominion on the Eretz. That's why all the other nations, we talked about this for many times, all the other nations are given over to the marine kingdom. All the other nations are in covenant with the marine kingdom. They're in covenant with the fallen ones. How do you think America had the atom bomb to where they just had dominion over all in the whole world? How did America have dominion over all the nations? They had came out with the atom bomb, the atomic bomb, y'all. Nuclear bomb. That's why y'all don't never wonder why America cares so much about who has nuclear weapons. We just found out that Iran has weapons of mass destruction. We got to go in there and we got to, you don't never be like, why they care about what they doing? Oh, whatever. They're way over there. No, we can't let them. It seems like we have reports that they have some sort of uranium thing that they can possibly, even if I'm talking about they'd be ready to go to war just for that someone could possibly make a nuclear bomb. They had an uranium deposit factory, and we know that that's one of the main ingredients that they can possibly use to possibly make nuclear bombs. And they'd be ready to go to war over that. Because listen, that's how America has its dominion, y'all. It's because of the day. America, I think even to this day, is still the most nuclear capable country in the world. That's how they keep the dominion, though. We know there's a lot of stuff going on, though, because there's some new technology China coming up with. There's some AI stuff going on. We don't know, but the dominion always was based off of who had the revelation. And this race, they're over there. They're having these dealings with these fallen ones, and it's this race to come to keep the dominion through keeping the technology, keeping the revelation by dealing with these fallen ones. That's how they've been doing it so long. That's how they were the first ones to the race with guns. Boy, man, when the Europeans got the guns, oh, they just took over the world. That's when colonization went full throttle then. Oh, that was a wrap. They went to every nation and was just like, yeah, this is our land now. Yeah. And it killed everybody. That's what Malek was talking about. They'll wipe out everybody easily because they got the guns. And the men would fight brave. They'll come with their arrows. They'll do their best. Nothing. No, not close. Y'all still see some of that stuff happen sometimes. Y'all, like when y'all look at what's going on in the place that they call Israel today. The news will focus on the dudes in Gaza. They literally trying to war with rocks, y'all. They literally doing this. For real. And you know what Israel doing? All right, y'all, get the army. They coming with tanks and they mowing them down left and right. And that's why people are so outraged by how Israel is doing them. Because they don't show this on the news, y'all. We talking about high level atrocities. It's not on CNN, y'all. You got to talk to people who's out there. They mowing them people down left and right. I mean, and it's no match. It's not like it's, they try to act like it's just, this war. And, man, them people don't got nothing, man. Them people don't got nothing. They going in there with American-backed money, airplanes, bombs, machine guns, tanks, everything. Them people trying to throw rocks at them. No, it's not even close. And so the rainbow is this concept of the sons of light having dominion over the children of darkness. It goes back to the beginning when Yahuwah said, "Let there be light." And he says, and it says, I'm paraphrasing, but it says like the light shine, and then he divided the light from the darkness, something along those lines. But it's about the light having dominion over the darkness, over the mem, over the nations. Y'all see what I'm saying? It's about the light having dominion over Sheol. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. On this house, I'm going to build my church, my assembly. Man, I renounce and denounce. That. On this rock, I'm going to build my assembly, and the gates of Sheol will not prevail against this. The assemblies was literally set up to have dominion over Sheol. It's not, remember we talked about this. It's not saying the gates of Sheol, like we're going to sit still and the gates of Sheol are going to try to come at us. Gates don't come at us. You go to the gates, don't you? You go and you rush the gates to open the gates, and it says that the gates of Sheol cannot prevail against us. That's colonization. This is why the Most High has been giving it to Melech so much about kingdom colonization, because we colonizing the Eretz. The fallen ones were brought Sheol on the Eretz, and we are set apart to bring the Shamayim to the Eretz, to bring the kingdom of the Shamayim to the Eretz. This is war, Miss Parker. Colonization. And it's all about, and a lot of it is through producing this seed. A lot of it is through being fruitful and multiplying. This is a concept that is just super foreign in Babylon. Like, man, I never even understood that at all. Even when reading the scriptures, trying to understand it, I didn't fully understand that bit. Why would an Akio it was so big for them to have children? Why was that such a big thing to where, I mean, it was one of them. I think it was Rachel. She said, "Give me children or I'll die," or something like that. It was everything to them. Like if they were barren, it would be like the end of the world in the scriptures to the Akio. Like, and it was hard for me to understand it. You know, now I see it's everything, y'all. It's everything. These children are arrows. Hey, look. Kodesh seed, it gotta be Kodesh seed though. Kodesh seed is, that's the weapon of mass destruction. That's what the fallen ones understood too. They didn't say, let us go down there and let's just war with all the children of men. Let's war with them and then we'll have the dominion. No, they said, no, let's go down there and let's lay with all the women and have as many children as possible. And produce this type of seed that'll be devoted to the kingdom of darkness. It'll be this special hybrid seed that'll be devoted to our way. And it worked. They literally brought Sheol on their Eretz. To this day, all the other nations is considered Sheol, including this nation. And it started with them doing what they did, I submit. Sheol was never designed to be on the Eretz. A matter of fact, in the beginning, it did say the world was without form. It was tohu vabohu, which probably, that means chaos. And it literally was underwater. And then the Most High said, let there be lights. And the light was always sent and designed to come to bring order to the chaos. The light was always designed to come and go to war against the darkness. That's what we are here for. All right. I think we got that. So, that's why even when Yahusha came, he kept talking about the kingdom of the Shamayim, the kingdom of the Shamayim, the kingdom of the Shamayim. So the Hebrew word for kashet, because this is what we're seeing in this Torah portion. Once the sons were established, once the children were brought forth, then, oh man, the Most High just started battering Sheol, which was a place of bondage, Mitzrayim, with all these judgments. He used Moshe and Aharon to do it. He used men to do it. Who? The Kodesh seed. He uses the sons of light to administer judgment on the earth, y'all. Of course, Yahuwah could just do it straight from the Shamayim if he wanted to. But it's a concept of where the Shamayim comes down on the Eretz. Think about this. The rainbow. So the rainbow, usually you see the rainbow when it's like, it's surrounded around rain. Rain is also, y'all know the Hebrew word for rain is also related to the Hebrew word for arrows, right? So you even see that in the natural, because the sons are the arrows, the children. The word Yare, More, all those words surrounded that are associated with rain is also associated with arrows. Just look it up. It's associated with arrows, the raining of arrows. It's this idea of the archers by, if you got an army, they may be in the thousands. And you got the archers and they're trying to batter down the enemy, and they'll point the arrow up and boom, they'll let them go all at the same time. The arrows will all go up by the thousands and rain down on the enemy. The bow. These thousands of people that shoot it, they'll go up and they'll rain down on the enemy by the thousands. That's the concept of the rainbow. It's dominion through children, through the Kodesh seed. Okay, so kashet is the Hebrew word for rainbow. It's kuf, sheen, tav. And one way to look at this is about it's the appointed time. That's the kuf. The appointed time for the destruction according to the covenant. The appointed time for the destruction according to the covenant. The appointed time for the destruction according to the covenant. The sons of light are set apart literally to subdue the earth, to cause destruction on the nations.
Rebirth of a nation. Hebrew kingdom building.